Afternoon, guys. Yeah, I'll just read the changes because there's only 4. So Damien obviously comes in for Andre Esterhuizen. He's being fit with his shoulder now. And Francois Louw is a swap for Noche, who moves to the bench. And then Steven Kirchhoff just swaps with Beast. And then Vincent Koch comes onto the bench in the place of Walcott. So basically 4 changes in all.
Questions?
Rassie, sorry, can you just explain the reasoning behind, especially at number 8 with Francois coming in?
Yeah, Francois was available last week, but we had an arrangement with the club that he would go back and play that one game there. And we're lucky enough to get him back. And with the the respect we have for the All Blacks, I think experience is going to be vital in this game. And obviously, losing a guy like Warren, you lose a lot of experience, and I think Notch played really, really well last weekend, so him staying on the bench is well deserved as well. But I think just the experience against the number 1 team in the world we need from Francois.
Rassie, can you give us an update on Warren? How serious is that injury?
Yeah, I think Warren, if we played next week, Warren would have been ready, so he'll probably get a run in the Currie Cup and hopefully be ready for the end of year tour.
Rassie, did Francois Louw, do you feel that Francois Louw did enough in the few games that he played in the Rugby Championship to warrant selection in the starting lineup, or is it more a case of you looking to bolster the experience?
Yeah, no, I think definitely the experience. I think he definitely I think also the knock on he made against the All Blacks when he came on, and that almost overshadowed the great defensive work he did in his last few minutes in the 22. So yes, listen, I think he really played well. And just like when Warren Whiteley came back, it takes a while to settle into the team and find your form. But experience definitely gave him the nod.
Rassie, it's a number of, you've changed the background a number of times throughout the season, and that, I mean, I know Dwayne hasn't been available the whole time, and probably Francois either, but are you worried that, there's not a combination that's settling down and playing together regularly?
Well, if it's costing us games, yes, then I'm worried. If we're winning while we're doing that, I think we're building some nice depth there, which we can use in the coming test matches, end of year tour, and obviously in the World Cup. And we'll know what we have when we go to the World Cup. If it's costing us games, which I think I've made a few selection errors during the season so far, which cost us games, and we'll only know that after the games. So I think in our head we've got a pretty clear idea. If we had to play a final now, who would be the 5 loose forwards in the mix? But until then, we'll keep on experimenting with all the respect in the world to test match rugby. But we have to find the best guys and give everybody a fair shot.
And just your thoughts, on having played the All Blacks now, you sort of know nearly what you're coming up against, having played against them and seen them a bit. Does that make it easier or harder or so on?
I think it's just always tough for everybody. The whole team is the whole week. It's been a great build-up to a test match, which it's going to be such a tough one. Not just because we only beat him just last. The previous test matches, Newlands was close. So I think it's 2 good teams playing one another, and they're number 1 in the world, and they're giving everybody 40-50 points until we beat them the previous time. So now we know how big the occasion will be.
Will All Blacks be a different team with Goodyear and SARugbymag in the midfield?
Yeah, I think overall, also with Nahola on the wing, the team they selected is definitely, I think, send the right message out what's going to happen on that field on Saturday. I think it's going to be a very, very physical match with, obviously, they've got all the soft skills in the world as well. So they'll be hurting after that loss, and the team they'll bounce back and give one hell of a performance, which we'll have to match.
What would a sort of back-to-back wins mean for the team and the progress you guys have made this season?
Well, I think definitely if we can win again, it's progress, and I think that's what we've been striving for since we started out in June against England. And there've been times when we went back a step or two. So playing the number 1 team in the world and having a chance to beat them again would be a massive lift in our confidence and our hopes and our aspirations to become one of the top 1-2 teams in the world again. But much easier said than done, So we know it would mean a lot, but it doesn't help. We just dream about it, and we have to go and try and do it.
Rassie, will you just go back to the midfield? Were you surprised that they went with Gucci over the experience of Crowley for such a big test match?
I think Steve and his coaching team don't.
As well as Barrett. Do you think now with Benjamin moving to fullback and now having 2 wingers who aren't recognised kickers at the back, that you could put pressure there, also the tactical kicking?
Yeah, I guess a bit of a catch-22. Obviously Ben is great in the air and he's a great tactical kicker, and they mostly leave Bowden back and the two wingers are defending up most of the time. So I don't think they will counter a lot because they're not receiving the balls. But it's a great thing too. If you kick on them, they'll run it back. No, not because maybe they can't kick because they run so well. So we'll have to handle that. But no, I think it's a really balanced team they've selected, especially on the high field with the way the ball will be travelling in the air. I think it's a clever back three they've picked. And we'll have to be better if we want to have a result here on Saturday.
Rassie, we spoke last weekend about the fact that you won't make changes for the sake of making them guys off the bench. Is there no concern from your side that, especially it's come off that time not spent on the field, the likes of Ambrose and Ivan and Ross might find them a bit wanting if a guy like Faf gets injured?
No, there's definitely a risk on that, but was also a risk in the beginning that, if you lose 2 or 3, 4 matches because of changing in a key position, you might just lose momentum totally and the whole train go off the rails. So there's definitely been some good decisions we've made and some bad decisions we've made, and we would have had a lot of more game time into certain guys, but sometimes your nerves get to you and the game is too close and you just don't make those changes. People forget that Ross actually has a lot of test caps under him. He's played in New Zealand, he's played in England, so we know what we have in Ross. If he comes into the team, it's not something new to him. Ivan has now been around us all the time. We send him back to play for the Bulls some game time, and then I think if you talk to a guy like Ambrose, him being with us and not getting game time, I think it's much better than him being not with us and playing 10 or 15 or 20 minutes for the Bulls, So I actually think, yes, we would love to get more game time into other nines, but we also want to win the games and build capacity and build some experience there. So a guy like Faf, I think if you play every single game now till the World Cup, he would have 17, 18 caps, So that's also not a lot. So getting caps into him is also vital.
Afrikaans. Rassie, kan ek by die verandering in die span Frans van Wout op 'n notjie sit ek jou beweeghede agter dit?
Ja, Franso was laasweek. Hy was beskikbaar, maar hy wou 'n bietjie by die huis uitkom, by familie uitkom en sy klapverpligtinge gehad daarso wat ons wel 'n reëling met hulle gehad het. Hy is nou beskikbaar hierdie naweek en hy's ervaring is baie vital met Warren Whiteley wat ons verloor het. Notche het skitterend gespeel en dis ek moet dink dat hy op die bank bly. Boa ou soos Marco, hy verdien dit definitief. Ek dink regtig hy was goed geweest en hy sal 'n groot impak hê in die tweede helfte. Maar in hierdie wedstryd gaan teen die beste span in die wêreld gaan ervaring baie tel en Franso het dit.
Okay, let's finish with Afrikaans with him. In terme van verdediging, daar word baie gepraat van die verdediging van die span, maar sal jy graag wil sien dat die Springboks span sal nog bietjie meer balbesit en gebiedsvoordeel geniet wat en hoeveel is baie te verdedig?
Ja, wel as ons wen sal ek bly wees. Dit sal so baie defend of tackle of solank ons wen sal dit great wees, maar ek stem saam, dit sal lekkerder wees om meer met die bal te hardloop en minder te duik, maar enige manier om die All Blacks te wen sal ons vat, maar ek stem saam takties het ons bietjie gesukkel. In die laaste 3 wedstryde het ons bietjie gesukkel om uit ons helfte uit te kom en dan as gevolg van dit is nie dat ons nie die bal wil hê nie, die opponente hou die bal net langer dan moet ons meer duik. So dis iets waar ons hard gewerk het en ek glo ons sal beter raak want op die hoofveld teen hulle back three wat hulle gekies het gaan dit 'n vital deel van die game wees.
Rassie, net die middelveld, Damien en Jesse, Sunnybull en Jack net kyk daarna die rede vir Damien natuurlik en hoe om daai man in toon te hou daar.
Ja. Ja, Damien was obviously beseer geweest met sy skouer en hy's nou 100% reg vir hierdie wedstryd. En ek dink as jy Damien en Jesse en Andre is seker ons mees ervaarste kombinasie as ek dit so genoem het saam gespeel het, wat mekaar ken en wat al van ouderdoms level af saamkom. En ek dink definitief Damien en Jesse ken mekaar by verre die beste en hulle die meeste toetscaps en dan met die span wat New Zealand gekies het met Sunnybull in daar en jy weet daar's soveel goeie spelers daarso in die senter kombinasie gaan ons deeglik toets. So ek is baie bly ons het ons mees ervare senters daar want hulle gaan getoets word Saterdag.
Rassie, jy het heelwat keuses by die voorrye rond. Ou soos Vincent Koch wat jy nou op die bank het.
Ja.
Is hy 'n ou wat gaan game time kry en is hy ou met jou langtermynbeplanning eerder insluit?
Dit hang af hoe hy speel, jy weet as hy nou opkom, hang af hoe hy speel want ons het regtig baie goeie stutte, maar oud gesien by 'n wêreldbeker loskakel 5 slot skramskakel vaskop is en hakkers is dinge wat jy moet hê 4-5 moet hê as jy wil suksesvol wees en ons is bevoorreg met 'n klomp goeie vaskoppe jy weet ons het ou soos Thomas de Tooy ons nooit gedrop nie hy werk heeltyd aan sy spel Koenie begin nou weer speel Wilco het altyd solid performances gelewer maar ek voel net as ons nie nou gaan toets nie, dan gaan ons teen toe aan om nie aan die einde van die jaar toets nie, dan gaan ons nooit weet vir die wêreldbeker nie, want ons sal hom nie dan in die wêreldbeker jaar intrek nie. So hang af vir die game vloei en weet ek dink Frans is besig om self regtig baie steady te raak daar as die starting tyd het, maar ja, hopelik hy's daar, hy's 'n agile ou en op die ligdruk behoort hy vir ons baie te beteken.
Rassie, just a quick one. If he was coming to chat to us just now, how pleased have you been with his progress so far this year?
No, very, very pleased with Opiwe. You know, it's tough when you throw a young guy like that who's played Varsity Cup 2 years ago into against England and he makes a few errors and everybody says, how can you take a chance of a guy like that? And then he stuck to his guns, he worked hard and then he got an injury and he came back and he's been playing well. But look, he's gonna make some mistakes still and I think we all have to accept that, just like all the other young players, and even the All Black team, they're young players. It's the first time in a while I've seen an All Black team with 5 or 6 players with less than 10 caps in a 23. You know, it doesn't happen often that you see that in an All Black team. So, and like they will make mistakes, people will make some mistakes tomorrow and make some wrong reads, and they might round him, and other times still work. But it's wonderful that he stuck to his guns, and even over that injury, that is fine now.
Okay, we're going to wrap up.
Rassie, just a word on Willie, the 50th.
Yeah, it's actually funny. I was saying to Willie today, I was coaching the Stormers and he was coming over from Boland on trial with us, and I said, no, you're not good enough, and then he went to the Cheetahs, and now he's one of the backbone of our Springbok team playing his 50th Test cap, so he's definitely proven me wrong. I'm happy for him, and he's such he looks like a very tense character from the side, the way he's very animated on the field, but he's a very calming character in the team. He brings experience to that back three, and he helps a lot, and yeah, proud of him to have played 50 Test matches this weekend.
Rassie, with the rise of the P-Way and because of the All Blacks, Carlton, Kuape, and Tavao coming to the team, all of them not necessarily come through the usual development. Are there times when we're too focused on, the usual patterns of development through a rugby career?
I think if you asked me 2 years ago, I would have said no. You have to go through the whole high performance programs, but I tend to start believing in what you're saying, that there is those gems out there, there is guys that you think will take longer to make the step up. But I think if you back players more and you give them the chances, I think, as you mentioned, a few wonderful examples in New Zealand as well. Sometimes we don't have the guts to back guys, and who comes in from a totally different angle. And I think I've definitely learned that lesson the last few months.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone.